Good morning. It's about 6:30 in the morning, July 4th, 2021. As you can see, that's why the flags are there in the pots. And today is the 2-month growth update. As you know, I filmed the first video, if you've been watching, on May 4th. It's now exactly 2 months later. And the previous video I filmed was on June 17th. I film every 2 weeks. Now you can probably tell there's a venue change. As I said in the last video, we were moving, so I had to temporarily bring them to a different house of a family member to take care of them until we move into our new house. Now there's a little surprise here because you're actually not looking at the biggest leaf, because there's one behind it. And the old one from the last video, that was the biggest one. Remember, that last leaf measured 36 inches long. So I kind of hold it down as a surprise here. I'm going to walk over this way. And you might remember this leaf here. This was the leaf from the last video. As you can see, you know, they start to get old and ripped up. Winds and stuff like that. It's just natural. This was the last leaf. That is 36 inches long. Well, this one right here is 42 inches long. Now, I kind of predicted it in the last video that it might be somewhere between 44 and 48. I was about 2 inches off. Unless it's still growing, I don't know. This is 42 inches long from the tip here all the way up to that point. And during the daytime, it'll actually flare out more, and kind of flare backwards and look a little better. But yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. Remember, you're looking at 2 months of growth. 2 months. And the other surprise here, and this one is still opening, is come back here and look at how much random shoots, how many have just popped up. So again, here's our original. You got one here, 2, 3, go on this side, 4, 5, and 6. That is ridiculous, and there's probably a 7th one I can't see yet. I mean, it is growing like, it's letting me know that it likes whatever I'm giving it. Now, as you may be able to notice, I've cut a few old ones off. This one was touching the ground, so I cut it off. This one was also touching the ground here, so I cut it off. And I mentioned that in the last video. There's another one in here. I cut this off a few days ago. Why have the plant waste energy keeping a ugly-looking leaf alive that's dying when I could just prematurely cut it off? And maybe it helps with the growth, maybe it doesn't. I just gave it 2 gallons of fertilizer. I filled this up to the top. This is 2 gallons, and give it a scoop of fertilizer, Miracle-Gro. And this is what it's doing. I mean, night and day difference between the last leaf and then this one. There's another leaf growing right here out of the big one. It's probably going to be another monster. Yeah, it's, again, I've never grown these before, so it's pretty wild. This is July 4th, and you remember the first video is May 4th. This is 2 months. This is what it looks like after 2 months, and I even moved it in a U-Haul truck. So it went through a move, and any stress that was caused by that. It's in a new spot, which actually doesn't face south, so the sun's rising, so that's east, so it faces west, so it only gets sun for maybe 5 hours a day. In the old spot, it was getting sun for 10 plus hours a day. Now it's about 90 degrees every day here, so it's not like it's cold or cooler, but again, it's just wild to think about. So it's July 4th, and here in North Carolina, we probably won't even get our first frost until the end of October. So this is going to continue to grow through the entire month of July, the entire month of August, the entire month of September, and into October. So I just don't know how much crazier it's going to get. I'm assuming it's going to get to a point where there's going to be so many of these shoots that it's going to be hard to even water them because the shoots will just get in the way. I mean, you even look at, there's some pretty, like this leaf right here. This comes from that second shoot that happened. Even this is huge, and it's coming from this shoot right here, not the main one. So, yeah, remember, the first video was May 4th, and I planted this as a bulb, or you call it a tuber, in the ground in the middle of April. On May 4th, it first sprouted, which you see in that video. And this is growth from May 4th onwards. In the same pot. The only thing I did different was I added a little more soil a few weeks ago, which I showed in a previous video because I thought it was getting a little low and a lot of roots were coming out of the soil. And I said, yeah, maybe it wants more soil, then it can hold more water. But this is it. This is ridiculous. It is 60 days. That's what it does in 60 days. I come up from this view. I don't know how tall it is. I haven't measured its height. That's the back of the 42-inch leaf. Just look at that. It's just springing out of everywhere. It's just, there's no boundaries. Again, that's the old leaf, 36-inch leaf. Now, one last thing. This leaf right here, I said, is 42 inches long, and it's also 31 inches wide. Now remember, this leaf right here is 36 inches long. The width of this leaf is only 5 inches shorter than that leaf is long. So, if this one's 42 inches, again, I don't know what this one's going to be because this one is also still growing. I don't know if it's going to beat that one. And remember, it looks even better in the daytime. It's in the early morning. When it's in the daytime, this will all get tightened up. And it'll really flex itself outwards to really soak up all the sun. But it really does look like an elephant's ear, doesn't it? I'm assuming that the next one is going to be 4 feet long, which would only have to be 48 inches. I assume it's going to be that one right there. So, again, these are supposed to get up to 5 feet long, but I guess it takes some time. Maybe by the end of August you'll have one that's 5 feet long. I mean, that's 60 inches. We're at 42 right now. But, again, Miracle Grow, which I'll show you right there. There it is. Miracle Grow once a week for the last 2 straight months. And lately I've been watering it twice a day. I water it in the morning, and then I come back here at like 5 in the afternoon, 6 in the afternoon, and I water it again because the leaves start to wilt. There's so much energy, there's so much water demanded by these massive, massive leaves. I mean, just look at the veins on them. Look at the veins on these things. All that water being sucked in there. It uses a ton of water. When it's 90 degrees out here, which it isn't right now, by 5 o'clock that soil is dry. Remember, as I said, the soil dries up faster in a pot than in the ground. So, the next video will be filmed on July 17th, 2 weeks from now, where I assume there'll be a leaf bigger than this one. Alright, happy 4th of July.